Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
And welcome into the Sunday Journal. I'm your host, Matt Pitta. Thanks for being with us today. We get together each week to talk about issues facing Cape Cod, the islands, and all of southeastern Massachusetts. Welcome into the program. Today we're going to talk about National Night Out. As you listen to us here this weekend, it is coming up on August 4th, and this is an important event that takes place around the country, but we're going to be focusing in on one of the major events happening here on Cape Cod, one of the big National Nights Out on the Cape. It takes place in the town of Dennis, and we brought in a couple of old friends to talk about this. I'm not saying you guys are old, by the way. I just, old friends. They looked at me when I said
We're
that.
Getting there.
From the Dennis Police Department, officers Nick Patsavos and Ryan Carr. Nick and Ryan, thanks for stopping by today. It's always good to see you guys. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. You too.
Great to be here.
How's your summer going so far? It's been usual Cape Cod busy, right? I would imagine out there on the streets of the Cape.
I'd say a little busier than usual.
Is it really a little busier than
winter.
usual? People had pent-up demand, right?
Absolutely.
They said, we're going to go to the Cape and work out all of our
And they came in numbers.
Well, guys, again, welcome in, and thanks for being with me today on the program. We've been getting together for many years to talk about National Night Out. And Dennis, you guys are really, a lot of the towns on the Cape are involved in it. We don't want to slight anybody, but you guys have really kind of led the effort on this and really kind of going all out and getting the community together to come out on the 4th of August, always on National Night Out, and really just bring the message across about what you're doing on the streets and how you can interact with the community. So let's start out, and whoever wants to jump in and take it, but give me, let's just start out with kind of the general overview of what the concept of National Night Out is. Who wants to take that? Nick? Ryan's looking at you.
Hi.
What's the big concept of National Night Out?
The major concept of National Night Out is citizens and police supposed to take back the neighborhoods. It's supposed to be, we're supposed to encourage a safe neighborhood and develop the relationship between the police and the citizens that we're working in this together. We're partners in fighting crime and making for a safe community. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're trying to do, and we get everyone to meet us, and we're just normal folks. We have families. We bring our families. Everyone meets us, and we meet them, and it's a good event. So
the in terms of what goes on nationwide, that's the big picture. Get the police departments out there. And it's really, it does go back to that concept of community policing, right? About getting the officers out into the community and, kind of breaking down that barrier, if you will, from, just being in your cruiser or being in the station, but that, you're just regular folk who are out there doing your job as well and trying to get them involved with us, right?
I think it's about just staying in touch. We've done it. This is 15 years now in Dennis. We've been doing it a long time. Nick and I have been running it for 4 years. Time flies, and things change, needs change, communities change. It's important that we stay on top of it. It's great from a community standpoint. Get to know what the community has to offer, what the resources are, what we do. For our families, they come out and see the people that we serve, and it's not this big mystery what Daddy does at work,
mm-hmm.
and talks about when he gets home. People they get to see us in our environment. It's good from a personal standpoint. It's good from a professional standpoint. People get to meet us out of the uniform and in a relaxed atmosphere. It's fun. We talk. We get to know each other. And while that's being accomplished, we understand what the needs are and how we tailor our approach. And this whole concept of community policing, it's real important. Nationwide, there's been a lot of negative stuff for the police, and we want to show that, there's bad apples in every bushel.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that as we get into the program, just in terms of how you guys are handling that locally. But let's get out some of the details about what's going to be happening on National Night Out. We want to let folks know. We want them to come down and join us on Tuesday. So let's lay out the schedule, if you will, for National Night Out. Let's go there. Ryan?
Yeah, I've been working on that for a few weeks in between shagging cars and car accidents and
exactly.
all that good stuff. But we have food, hot dogs, burgers. We'll be giving them away, and lots of noise, lots of fun. We're moving the venue down to the West Dennis Greatest Schoolhouse. The idea is for us to keep it on the move. We don't want to get comfortable in any one spot. We want every village of the town to be able to get some exposure and see us in action. Maybe people wouldn't want to cross Route 6. There seems to be that barrier there.
There's a beautiful playground there.
Good playground. It's the school was built in the Abe Lincoln administration.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
It's a neat old building, and the nice thing for us, it offers storage, so we can take our time getting set up. There's bathrooms, and it'll offer some shade if it's a hot day, which we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Right. People can walk to the village center and check out the shops there, and the restaurants.
And so last year you were over in Dennisport. That was a big event. You had a great turnout for that event. The year before you were still back at the police station the year before.
We were in Patriot Square.
You were in Patriot Square the year before, right? So it makes sense that you want to let all of the areas of town, the villages of town. We know the Cape can get very parochial. If your village is your village, and some people when they say they don't cross the bridge, they mean the Bass River Bridge. They're not talking about the Sagamore of the Bourne, right? So you want to make sure that all of the people in town are feeling like they can take part in it as well. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Now, in terms of you got the food, you're going to have the grills from Ken Foster, right?
Ken's
he comes down with that big cutout oil truck, which is just amazing.
A lot of fun.
I know one thing that's always been a big draw is vehicles. Last year you had some classic cars. You also have had some of the public safety vehicles. The big SWAT truck came down. You're going to have more public safety, or you're going to have public safety vehicles taking part as well?
We'll have most of our police cars there. We'll have the fire department. They'll bring all their trucks. Hopefully not all of them. They'll bring their trucks
Leave
down.
a couple in case they need it.
In all our town departments, they'll bring a representative and put a display on our natural resource, our health department also.
We've also reached out, though. We have the sheriff's office is coming. The Park Service from the Cape Cod National Seashore. So,
are you doing classic cars this year too?
They're coming.
I'll bring my car, bring my 74 Oldsmobile down maybe as we come down there. So
the 65 Galaxy will be there if it starts.
That's right. That's a Dennis. That belongs to you guys, right? Is that an actual Dennis police car? Did you guys buy that later on? I love to see that car. I know that you guys have a classic car. Orleans, I think, has one as well, but it's a Galaxy, right?
Yeah,
65 Galaxy. So what's the history to buying that car?
Officer Sean Martin from our department, amongst other members, took a few cars and put them all together.
Really?
He's brilliant, Sean Martin.
That's a great car. So would that have been, would a Galaxy been a traditional police cruiser back in the day probably?
It was modeled after Sean Martin's father's first car, Tom Martin, when he started.
Okay.
And Sean saw an old picture of his dad in the car, and he wanted to replicate it, and it was a great memory. Tom Martin passed away a few years ago. Right. So,
did you guys kind of battle to who drives that? I mean, if I was over with you guys, I'd want to drive that car.
I'm too afraid.
You're too afraid to drive
the
car.
That's I'll drive it, but it's I think it's a 429 from a 69 Thunderbird in there. So
it's got some power.
It screams.
We are talking about National Night Out that is coming up on August 4th on a Tuesday, and we are looking forward to you coming down to join us in the town of Dennis this year. It's over at the graded school over in West Dennis, and so you're going to have activities where in the parking lot as well, right, and then in the shopping plaza next door as well, and just kind of that whole area, so people can kind of come and go and wander in and out of the School Street area. Then
exactly, we're going to have some parking available up in the town center. There's a municipal lot. Some of the businesses have said we can have their access to their parking lot, so we'll have some signage, and it's a short walk, and we'll have the road closed in a section, so it'll be safe for pedestrians.
My guest today on Sunday Journal from the Dennis Police Department, Officers Nick Patsavos and Ryan Carr, and we're talking again about National Night Out that takes place on August 4th. We hope you come down, and that's again one of the messages we want to get across is that come down on Tuesday. It's just a great event. Maybe if you're visiting, a lot of our folks listening on the weekends here are visitors. You may not live in the town of Dennis, but if you're visiting Dennis for the week or what have you on vacation, come on down, right? I mean, you want even the visitors to come down, not just the locals, right?
Absolutely. We have quite a few visitors. We want to represent not just our own police department, but police in general. Mm-hmm. And I think we do a pretty good job at that. So come on down.
Let's talk a little bit about I think, Ryan, you started to touch on it. It's been a kind of a difficult year around the country with a lot of these issues involving police departments. And how are you guys handling that in the field? Do people talk to you about it if you're out on patrol or you're either doing a beat or what have you? You're taking a walk somewhere. What are you hearing from the people out there? Nick?
I was a little concerned at first, but it was overwhelmingly positive response from our community. People really stuck by us. We've had witnesses on scene that have given their name and information just in case, they wanted to, back us up. People have really rounded up. So I want to thank everyone in Dennis for supporting us. We've had people calling in tears, leaving messages with their support for us. So I'm very happy about that.
Right.
I think one of the good things, and Chief DiMatteo is a big proponent of community policing, but I think it's been beneficial for us as individual officers and as a department. People understand us. They know what we're doing. We have our Crime Watch meetings. We have our outreach meetings. And, people understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're not standoffish. We didn't get beat up in high school, and we're taking our, anger out on the community. It's not what it is at all. And the people who take the time to get to know us understand that. And they come out to these events, and they meet us. They meet our families. They see what we're all about, and they know, I'd say, 99.999% of us are out there to help. Just make somebody's day a little better.
Especially in this forum and this segment here, we're not going to get political about it, but when you take a look at what's happening, nationwide, how do you guys kind of synthesize that? I mean, it's got to be tough for the officers, when you get, at the beginning of your shift, I know you guys have your roll calls, things like that, and when a story pops up from around the country, it's got to be difficult, right? I mean, there's got to be a party that's like, oh, here we go again. We have another situation that we're going to kind of get lumped into, if you will. How do you handle that?
The leadership at our department's been terrific, and the reminder is keep doing what you're doing, do it right, protect the citizens, protect yourself, and that's what we're doing. Yeah. We don't have any problems.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's right.
All right. And that, I think that message will be on display quite well on the 4th during National Night Out. People can come down and see that you're just regular men and women doing your job out there like the rest of us, and, doing the best you can. So, we encourage people to come out and join us on the 4th. So let's talk a little bit, if we can, because we have plenty of time here on our segment. Let's just talk about what's been going on in Dennis, throughout the summer. Ryan, you said it's been maybe even a little bit busier than usual, and, we don't want to always focus on necessarily the negative things, but there's certain realities that you guys are facing on the streets of the Cape right now. Drug issues, crime, etc. So, how's the summer? What are you seeing out there? What are the trends? You guys are very proactive in Dennis about the scams, all that kind of stuff. So, what are you seeing out there? What's hot?
I found out that the stop signs are different off Cape.
The stop signs are different.
Stop signs are the biggest argument you get roadside.
What, do people say that
I'm not from here? Oh, okay.
So when they go through the stop sign, they say that doesn't look like my stop sign at home, right?
I guess, but
that brings up something interesting, actually, and not related to National Night Out, but more related to Route 6 travel.
Yeah.
If you're traveling in the right lane,
right,
you have the right of way. If you're coming off the highway, that yield sign, you have to yield.
You do.
And you can't get mad at the person that's just traveling on the highway for not letting you over.
Yeah. Road rage, I'd say, is a big one. You get a cloudy day, people aren't at the beach, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. And you guys have some shopping centers. You got 134, so you've got a lot of activity over there, and then along Route 28. So, in terms of what's going on, are you still seeing? We've been dealing with these drug issues, the opiates and the heroin, and I know I've talked to you guys extensively about this, especially in the off season, that you end up seeing crime issues, in the neighborhoods. Especially, I know I've talked to you guys about parts of town that are quiet in the off season, where it's a very seasonal area, and you see that uptick of crime, and a lot of it is drug-related. So what do we see at this time of year? What are kind of the trends? What are the crime trends, police trends at this time of year on the Cape?
I want to say just before the summer, we had a rash of break-ins on the north side of town, and our detective division got right on it and solved the cases in our town. And Detective Richter took it to the next level and actually helped solve a bunch of crimes across the Cape. So that was helpful. And our detective division is one of the best crime prevention tools that we have because they're so smart and they get right on things. Mm-hmm. But one thing we're seeing in the summer, we've been seeing a lot of mental health calls continuing and a lot of drug addiction calls. But we've been skating to where the puck is going, and we've been bringing out members of Gosnold with us.
So you guys are doing that. You guys are doing that program now too. I know that.
Yep.
I think Yarmouth and Falmouth got involved in that. So is that the program where if there's an overdose, you will then go back and visit the people, visit the family, and see how they're doing?
We do, and also if we suspect someone of having a drug issue, not just a specific overdose, we'll send an email out to Gosnell. We'll call them, and they will follow up. And we've had some success stories already where people have gotten help. We do the same thing with the Department of Mental Health, where they'll come out with us once a month, and we'll go to the house of someone that we think needs help or from past calls. I was a little nervous about that at first. I didn't think we didn't want to offend anyone, but we've actually reached out to folks, and they're very happy that we reached out and we got them some help. So it went well.
That's a tough situation, this whole drug issue here on the Cape. We're actually going to be taking a look at it a little bit in depth this fall with a series that we're going to be working on. And it's just, what's this? I don't know. I try to say what's the solution, but do we know what the solution is? I mean, you have to stop the supply at some point and, get to the people, try to change behavior patterns. I mean, you guys are on the front lines. You see it every day.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to solve it from a law enforcement standpoint. We just can't stop the supply.
Right.
You lock up one guy, it's a power vacuum. Somebody's going to fill it quick. So I think the Gosnell outreach, provide people with resources and options for when they want to get better. Because the gentlemen that we go out with from Gosnell, they're cool. I mean, they're awesome. They're good at what they do. They can talk to people. They can deal with people. They understand the whole opiate addiction much more.
Have a lot of empathy.
Very good. Than we do. I mean, we've dealt with it as police officers so long. We've probably been a little jaded, but to see these guys in action really helps us to understand what the issues are and what the resources are, and to try to push these people. And they have to want it. We can't force it on them.
Is it a daily thing? You guys seeing this on a pretty regular basis, dealing with these types of overdoses and things like that? Is it still pretty prevalent right now?
Seems to be prevalent, and it seems to sometimes will come in like a wave where there'll be several. But most of our crimes, like the break-in and enterings that we had, that was all drug related.
Right. Well, we're talking today on this edition of the Sunday Journal with Officers Nick Patsavos and Ryan Carr from the Dennis Police Department. And we want to get back to the initial topic, which is National Night Out, which is taking place on August 4th. And we'll be down there with you guys. We're excited to be part of this. So as we come to a conclusion here this morning, guys, let's go over the details and what everyone needs to know, what's going to be there and when they should show up for National Night Out on Tuesday.
Tuesday, August 4th, 4 p.m. We're going to go till about 7. Hopefully the weather holds out. It is rain or shine. We're going to have all sorts of public safety displays, vehicles, equipment, town resources, government resources from county and state levels.
I'm about to throw down a challenge right now on the radio to you two guys. Nick, what is about to happen?
Bring it.
So we're going to come down there. We're going to help you guys out with this. We have fun with our listeners. We bring our cornhole game down and throw the bean bags. And so I'm just going to challenge you guys right now that I'm the master at the cornhole game here. So I wanted you guys to see if you can take me on. We'll play some cornhole with the listeners and all the friendly folks in Dennis. Yeah, Kat and I are going to take you guys on. Are you ready for that?
I don't think you can beat J.C. Peters, one of our officers is like a cornhole expert.
So it's on then, right?
Yeah.
All right. As we used to say back in my day, it's on like Donkey Kong, back in the 80s.
That was a long time ago.
Kids nowadays going, what?
What are you talking about?
Well, guys, thanks so much for being with us today. We are looking forward to being with you on August 4th for National Night Out in Dennis. And Nick and Ryan will see you guys down there. And we invite all the public to come down and say hello as well. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for being with us today on this segment of the Sunday Journal. I'm your host, Matt Pitta.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.